What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36, and this is Big Games B.S., part of the Media Group, presented by AlphaClinicOnline.com. AlphaClinicOnline.com is a go-to website for all things performance enhancement. We just, get your body, get energized. It's about trying to regain that youthfulness as you press through and just try to grind in this new age of the new world coming up. Imagine if you felt like you were in your 20s or 10 years. I just say just 10 years. You don't need to necessarily feel like if you're in your 50s, the last thing you need to do is go back to your 20s. But imagine if you're 50 and you can feel like you felt when you were 40. Imagine if you're 40 and you can feel like you felt when you were 30. All those things would be great gains. You can do that. Look at my guy, Bobby G, who's shredded right now. A whole bunch of other different guys, gals that are doing stuff, all kinds of results on that website. Go to alphacliniconline.com and you can be like them and get fit and shoot. Everybody's asking me what's going on, man. You looking better, you looking good, all this other stuff. I just attribute it to Christina and all them good people at Alpha Clinic, because I don't know what the fuck y'all see, but what I'm looking at is a little bit different, but I appreciate the compliments and all that jazz. Also went over there and see my doc. Not my doc, but doc. And there's another doctor over there. Did y'all see the thing what Chad Johnson did with Stephen A. Smith? You know what I'm talking about? Jaden, can you go find that clip for us real quick? Because I want y'all to, because I told y'all about this a couple years ago, and y'all thought I was bullshit. But women are size shaming men and body shaming men while they're getting BBLs and contours and all of these different things. And it was even though Chad was joking, but I know some of y'all out here, I'm not gonna call anybody out. I'm not here to call y'all. I don't really care. The crazy part is if you've gone your entire life with short stroking, clearly you've got kids, clearly you've gotten to this point and you're okay. But you might not be okay. And it's good to see guys like Chad Johnson being vulnerable to themselves. You got it? All right, so let's just listen to Chad, and Chad being vulnerable with the guy who can't be vulnerable with himself, even as his nephew tried to pressure him into getting into doing the right thing and shaving his head and going bald and just giving up the good fight. But listen to what Chad and Stephen A. were discussing on Radio Row at the Super Bowl.
Where we were in action, and she said in my ear, "Go deeper. Stay with me now." And what hurt me is I was already all the way in. So I had ran out of PP.
You do understand the cameras are rolling. Who you are now,
yeah, completely different.
Is manufactured because it was surgically enhanced.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And and I'm comfortable saying that. And I can tell you that it's just something you would never be able to get on TV. That's why we on your show. Where we were in action.
Run it one more time. Run it one more time, because I don't think people. And what makes it better is that
stay with me now.
Chad has a straight face while he's saying this. But go ahead and play it again.
And what hurt me is I was already all the way in. So I had ran out of PP.
You do understand the cameras are rolling. Who you are now,
yeah, completely different.
Is manufactured because it was surgically enhanced.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And and I'm comfortable saying that. And I can tell you that it's just something you would never be able to get on TV. That's why we on your show.
So my man said he went. We got it. Okay. All right. Oh, I got it. You had to unmute it to be able to play. All right. Andrew Magnus. I was over there. I was over at the clinic yesterday. Trying to make sure I'm not getting sick, because everybody in my house is getting sick right now. And Doc came in and rolled up on me, and I said, "Yo, did you see the Chad Johnson clip?" And he was like, "Hey, we were talking out loud. It's crazy because he's so discreet and Indian." And he was just like, "No, let's go talk about this in my office. Not out here in front of the women." I'm like, they know what the fuck is going on. They know what happens when we all know what happens when they go back into your office, Doc. You're not going in there to just talk about general vitality and men's health. And that's where he said, no, but that's where you're wrong, my friend. We're not just increasing the size of men's penis through stem cells. We are doing other stuff. It is a plan. This is a cost you a little bit, but this is a full out plan to get you back to fucking like you was in your 20s. He says that's not the only thing. He's like, it's a lot of other stuff. You feel better. It's a male revitalization project, but we'll be doing stuff. But I thought that was funny. So starting off like that, we're inside the world's greatest cigar lounge. Goodfellas, and we got a Bosnian connection coming in with all of this. And they doing guys, this is now a really good place to bring your ladies. You know what we find? Did y'all see what we had on the counters when y'all walked in? Did you walk to the lounge? Yeah, like nah, not just that. Like if you look to the little sidebar we have, you didn't see the hookah? Oh, no. We got hookah. We got good hookah apparently. A little soft opening. Anybody want to come smoke a little hookah? Come holler at me. We doing a little. They're gonna have food too. We got obviously we'll have cheese with the barbecue. We'll have a bunch of other different things. It's a weird place to say because we had it for the Super Bowl, but we had Delicious D's. It's a food truck by a lady, but she's out here slanging Delicious D's, and but they got little like the Mediterranean tapas type shit. So we're just trying to continue to expand and become a full service cigar lounge, a lounge where you can come chill, bring your lady. We're still doing the VD thing. We're not gonna have. We'll have the live band, the Hour Sharp band. They're gonna be coming here, spinning the tunes. Bring your old lady here. It's gonna be a packed crowd. It should be nice. If you're an all-in member, you got VIP wherever you go. I'll call in and make sure you got a table and all that kind of good stuff. I won't be doing VD. I'll be spending VD hopefully in Houston. I'll tell y'all about my 7-on-7 struggles as I solve them. Hopefully I get them solved this morning, but hopefully it's Houston. Might be somewhere else. Who knows? But we haven't done the prayer yet, so I guess after talking, if you when you inside of her and she says go deeper, and you ain't got nothing left to give her. Sometimes all you can do is pray, and this is the prayer you need to pray before you go see Doc or the good people at Alpha Clinic. Amen for that. All right. Probably got a good slam show. I hope you guys are enjoying the content that's getting put out. Jaden and Miles have been working the ass off. Miles, we got pictures for you. Jaden got pictures too. I think you did the pictures from media, not the media night, but we got some other pictures to add. But I think Steve has them all. I think it was just like one day. Maybe it was 2 days that he didn't take pictures. He just took all video. But I'll make sure we posted that stuff up there. Check out Big Game Gridiron as well. Yeah, Big Game Gridiron will have more content coming up there. Still got a ton of stuff to put out. We got one more day in the life, or did we do all the day in the lives? There's 6. Yeah, we got one more day in the life. Then we got some basically commercials that we were doing. Some of that stuff is good. Have you been using that Scotch Porter? No, I don't think I have. You didn't get any? Okay. It's beard stuff, beard and natural hair stuff. You need to use the shampoo. I need to give you that for your hair, Miles. But it's really like my beard. My beard's not dry. I haven't had any beer drift lately. So like that shit, I don't know if it's chemicals in it or what, but it's working. I don't think any of those colognes are better than what you already possess, Jaden. But Jaden's cologne almost got me in trouble with the pylon lady. So which was cool. It's good trouble. But if y'all hopefully go check out the Pylon 707, even if you don't like 707, check it out. It's a great. I enjoy. I listened to it last night on the porch smoking cigars, and I enjoyed listening to it. Also, got to go check out the Civilized Conversation of Violence between both me and Lorenzo Neal, who should be in the Hall of Fame. And I shared my Drew Brees story with him. We also have audio of me telling Drew Brees the story of him getting me cut and him being like, I don't even know you, large black. I didn't have hair. So I, definitely probably wouldn't recognize me anyway. But Jaden got this stuff. What is it? It's called, it's not Mind Body. What is it called? Mind Games, right? That shit is crazy. That's a good nighttime scent. If you're going out to the club, your aunt's not slanging it right now, right? You said, okay, so I don't know where you find it, but type in Mind Games. Like, listen. I almost like took it up off of Jaden. Like, it's good stuff, man. It's a good scent. It's like, it's boom. It's right there. It definitely is a good scent. Like when a cougar, I don't know, how old is cougars? Like, when do you stop being a cougar and start being like a jaguar or something else? Like, because she's clearly older than me. I think 47 is so we're just round up when you're over 50. Yeah. But yeah, it goes up. Like when you're like, it clearly goes up. Clearly goes up. Because what was I gonna say? Like shit. I can't like it. When I was 18, I liked 18-year-olds, right? Well, no, I didn't. That's a lie. When I was 14, I liked 18-year-olds. When I was 18, I damn sure wasn't trying to find anybody my age at that point. Clearly. Even my high school girlfriend was 6 months older than me. It's always been a hard rule. But at this point, I could say what Little Duval said, like you can go down 10 and you can go up 10. Up to a certain point. Once you're 70, it's assault to try to mess with an 80-year-old. Like you should chill. You should be chilling. You're going to Alpha Clinic. You're going to checking out Doc with Andrew Magnus. You're still working. All your pipes are still working, getting blood flow. You can go down, but you shouldn't go down 20 because then that gets weird too. Like you should not be dating somebody that you could have raised. I guess I'm trying to say that. That's where it gets weird. But when you get a certain age, you've already lived all the past experiences. But anyways, Eric is clearly a baddie. I work around baddies. I'm around them. I'm used to it. But when she at the EA, when we were walking, and we couldn't get into the EA party, and I saw her and I said, "What's up?" Her and Haley, and a couple other people, and I hugged, and then she grabbed me. She grabbed my arm, and she came back. And she was like, "Oh man, what are you wearing? You smell good." That's when I said, "I'm stealing that fucking cologne from Jaden, or he got to come up off of me." It's $400 though. Do they have like an Arab that like sells them? This is like Mind Body. I mean, this is like this is like Mind Games. It's called Mind Body. Like they sell it for $20 at the flea market or some shit. Hey man, it was some big girls in lingerie at the Super Bowl party. That if you put a little shawarma on your neck, little shawarma sauce on your neck. You would have probably been able to pull one, dog. Shout out to my dog Anthony Gregory again, by the way. Kudos to him for opening up his house. He did not have that. I'm telling you guys, Doris, the Metropolitan Restaurant. I think that's the name of it, correct? If I'm wrong, I know it's Doris. Spelled like an old white woman's name or old women's name because there's a black woman named Doris too. I have never eaten octopus before, but I ate octopus for the first time. It's an acquired taste. It's a little. It's the texture. It's chewy. I'm not talking about calamari either. I'm talking about like the whole tentacle is on that motherfucker. We ate.
What did it taste like?
Seafood.
Is it like a less intense version of a scallop?
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. Fair. The shrimp, that wasn't no shrimp. That was a prawn.
Yeah.
We had a prawn. That was like New Orleans food. It's not. I don't know how like Caribbean food is spicy for no reason. I mean, but I love it. But I'm just saying, it's like hot. It's test your manhood hot. New Orleans food has a kick, and then it goes into just flavor. I don't know how to explain it. It's like it's not a long-lasting spice. It's just enough spice to make you be like, all right, I'm aware that there's spice here. Yeah, this is the bar area. But we went there, we drank a lot. And I never drank in this manner. I had we had wine. We had liquor. It's called a saffron, sazerac. New Orleans people do not know how to explain sazerac to you. Sazerac is not what they say it is. They're like, oh, it's like an old fashioned. No, it's not like an old fashioned. It is literally liquor and bitters. Old fashioned with an orange in it. Old fashioned has a little sweetness to it, and I'm cool with it not being sweet. I like to drink straight liquor, but imagine trying to sip what you think is an old fashioned, and you sip it, and it's just as strong as it wants to be. But I had a couple of them. We had like we had crazy appetizers. The bread was amazing. The bread was dope. We had a steak tartare. And the way Anthony prepares it and talks about it, I would trust this mother. I'd eat whatever the fuck he puts on the table. He was saying shit that might not be true, but he was so confident in how he talked about it that it had to be true. He took something, it was like some egg. It was like an egg and then some he did like he created a fucking dressing right there. Did you know that tomatoes can be liberated? Did anybody know that? I didn't know tomatoes needed to be free, but free tomatoes are fucking delicious. In this Black History Month, I wonder if that's what white people thought of our ancestors when they got free. Like free slave pussy liberated slave pussy had to be better than regular slave pussy. Because if that's what the tomato was like, I mean, if that's what it was like, that tomato was like that. You put it on some bread, like it's just like they take it. The skin was there, but the tomato was free. And it was like pureed or some shit. But it was good. Everything was there. The steak was made perfectly. I'm not saying, I promise you, I'm not just saying this shit because Ant's on the live and because he let us, chill for free at his crib. Well, technically it wasn't for free, but he got some J's out of it. Should have got more. What did we have? The dessert we had? It was like some kind of like cheesecake thingish. We had cheesecake. We had the cheesecake, but then there was something else. It was like with a crumbly crust with the strawberries. Yeah, it was like a wafer. And then we had dessert liquor. I think we made Jaden an alcoholic this weekend. Like Jaden drank a lot. No, it wasn't bad. The only thing we got to stop is we're not, even though you were when in Rome, we will not drink that many fruity drinks again. Like, we don't do like you had the. Did you have the hurricane, the daiquiri when we were walking with the girls? But you brought up a good point. It's like a slushy. So I did give you credit for that. It's a slushy. It's an alcoholic. It's an adult slushy. Man, I'm trying to think. I can't even tell you all of the food that we had. Oh, the prawns were on the shrimp and grits, which nobody ate any of the grits except for me because I love grits. That shit was fire though. She almost got you. I mean, they almost got you, dog. I was nervous for. I wasn't gonna let. I've never in my life ever said that. I don't imagine any situation because it's a lose-lose situation. I'm not fighting. I am an ally to the community. I'm an ally to the community. Like I like lesbians, so I can't love lesbians and hate all the other ones. That's called being a hypocrite. You know, I mean, listen, I don't understand the other ones. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know why, but as CK Kirkland said, the T's are motivational because they've made up in their mind that they can be anything that they want to be, and they're willing to go through it. If you take that and apply that logic to everything in life, you have no choice but be successful, especially the ones that went all the way through with it. I couldn't even imagine just going all the way through with it. Like that's terrifying. But I understand it, but I wasn't gonna let Gary Payton take you. The motherfucker looked like Gary Payton, dog. It had to show, but the problem is, what if they're not wearing draws? But what I'm saying is, if I go and I try to tackle the transmission that's trying to tackle you, and they ain't got no draws on, that's unfair advantage. They got a weapon that they're just flinging out, and I don't want touching me. So now I got to be cognizant of what the fuck's going on in a fight. And that's how you lose fights. When you're worried about what's going on, that ain't except for the target. But I wasn't gonna let you but yeah, I wasn't gonna let them take you, man. Yeah. I wasn't gonna let Gary Payton capture you with that peanut butter brown skin. That's what he was looking like. He was looking like, or my bad. I don't know. Whatever that person's in particular identifiers was looking at Jason Whitlock had to have looked at Joy. But anyways, shout out to Ant on that note. If y'all are in New Orleans, check out Doris. It's right there. It was a block. It was a 0.5 miles away from the Marriott on Canal, if I remember correctly. It was very much so in walking distance. And you're probably going to want to walk because it's a heavy meal. You gotta burn some calories. You can't just go to sleep on that one right there, man. But all right, what your mom? Jada was safe from the other side. Now, so yeah, that's it. Outside of that, Jaden was not corrupted on that note, like from them. I can't speak for everything else because I wasn't around him 24/7, but he seemed to be doing okay. But what we got today, Jaden?
All right. Good morning, y'all. February 12th. Let's get this show topics rolling. Just not too much FSU news. Just some news on Adam Fuller having a new coaching position in the NFL. Then we're gonna have a father time moment with the Cromarties. They had a dope video. The Pops put out. We're gonna just talk a little bit about that. Dion in Colorado and Shador, they're making headlines again. Devontae Smith. We got some things to touch up with him. Ryan Day getting a new contract. Then we're going to have our Money Move segment, which is going to discuss the highest paid college football coaches. Transition to the NFL, we have the mock draft. We got some Cam Newton turmoil going crazy on the internet. And there's a heartfelt video with Buffalo Bills staff member and Josh Allen. And then James, I know we talked about the NFL Honors Awards, so we can do a Big Games BS NFL Honors Awards. Who you think should have won those awards? If you agree with the candidate, or you think somebody else should have got there. Philadelphia offensive coordinator Kellen Moore is now the Saints head coach. And then we got to talk about Aaron Rodgers and a request made by the Jets. Jalen Hurts at Disney World, halftime show numbers, the odds to win the Super Bowl next year, and your boy CJ Gardner Johnson taking 2 online. Then we got our Big Games BS segment. Got to talk about the scuffle with Patrick Mahomes' dad in New Orleans, Boondocks inspiration in real life, and the Tom Brady Bill Belichick joke. So first things first, let's get into Adam Fuller. Share this with you all. Adam Fuller is now the safeties coach for the Los Angeles Rams, coaching none other than one of the best FSU Knowles in the league, Derwin James. So what do you think about this role pickup for Adam Fuller and for the Chargers?
First and foremost, as for me and my house, we are unapologetic Adam Fuller fans. I know a lot of FSU fans hate Adam Fuller. He is the, and I know why you hate him. You hate him because you were programmed to hate him. He was when the defense, when you're losing and you're getting your ass whooped, everybody said, why can't you stop them? Like the offense isn't scoring. One of the critiques that I have for Mike Norvell's offense at Florida State is that he does absolutely nothing to complement his defense. Mike Norvell going for it on 4th down inside of his own fucking 40 and not getting it. So they got to defend short fields. They got a ton of 3 and outs. And they're like, why can't he make adjustments? Bitch, because he cannot. Do you know how disheartening it is to be like, oh, you just gave up a 10-play drive, and there's a lot of 10 plays, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You got to break down a lot of shit. Like, a lot of shit went wrong for them to have a long-ass drive like that. You got to get people in position. You got to get them coached up. For you to get 3 plays and for them to say, starting D, back up, or a turnover, or something like that, you haven't been able to correct the last problems. Now, you get 10 plays on offense, the other team, you got a lot of time to correct your fuck-ups on offense, and you still don't score. You're not helping him. And all in all, Florida State's 2024 season was a limp D that was not involved in infusing itself with the Alpha Clinic.
Hey, yo.
But now, as my man Angelo just eloquently put, we're going to be a Chargers channel now. Do you know why? A Fuller D is charged up. And you can get that thing charged up with Alpha Clinic. And if it's a little short, like Chad's was, we can get you over to Angelo Mangus. But my point in all of this is Adam Fuller put them in situations where they could win. He held people off, but you have to score points to help your defense out. He did not have all of the bullets that he had in the previous 2 years. But I do love this change for him, as I don't know how old that. Can we find out how old Coach Fuller is? Because he got to be, if he ain't mid to late 50s, I don't know how fucking old he is. But like, my guy doesn't, everybody says he doesn't like recruiting. This puts him in the situation to where he doesn't have to recruit anymore. All he has to worry about is the beauty of the game. You can spend time with your family. You could do a lot of other shit. And Adam, I think, the guys that he has will respond to what he needs them to do. And I can see him in a few years growing to be a DC. And I think it helped because Adam Fuller could have taken the job last year. And he didn't. And I think he was the scapegoat for a lot of big problems that were happening at Florida State that were also beyond him. That does not mean that he is absent any critique. At the end of the day, the buck stops and starts with him. So for the good you get, you got to be willing to take the bad. But I think Adam Fuller is a good coach, and I also take some of the blame as the Coleman family. So if you've seen our video that we took every year, Trey and his homies, we go around, we go to Florida State. We go to Mike Norvell's football camp, which has been held on the day after Father's Day. So my Father's Day is spent fucking taking a bunch of badass kids around to go do a football camp. It's okay. Wouldn't have it any other way. I love that shit. But I set it up so that the kids could do a tour of the facilities. Every year, I set it up so the kids could do a tour of the facilities. And a 3-year-old Killer Kai, I think he was 3. He's 6 now. Yeah, so he was 3 at the time. You got to watch Killer. Killer don't know what the fuck. Like, if you don't watch Killer, Killer gonna be into some killer shit. Nobody was watching Killer for half a second. This man is behind Adam Fuller's desk and just goes over to his laptop and starts typing shit. I don't know what the fuck he typed, but the defense immediately got better that season. So I'm taking credit that a 3-year-old manufactured the defense in which made Florida State have all of these guys. So what you saw Jared Verge doing, it was because a 3-year-old put him in the proper position to be able to do that. All the Azaria Thomas, a 3-year-old is the one who created that coverage for him to be able to do that. But all in all, I love this for him. I think he's going to flourish. I think he's a damn good coach. I think the love that everybody has for Mike Norvell, and it's justified. Made it to where we couldn't criticize Mike in the offense to the same level that we criticize Adam in the defense. And that's why I think a lot of you guys were unfairly criticizing him to the point where even when he was getting credit, they were like, no shit, Sherlock, it's always the fucking players. It's the players when you win, it's the players when you lose. But his system is what put him in that. So I'm happy for Adam. I hope he flourishes. I hope he continues to have success and rise through the ranks, become a DC on the NFL level, and make your paper, daddy. That's what I love doing. I love seeing guys make their paper.
This will be his first time coaching in the NFL. And just to give a track record on some of the teams / coaching positions he had,
Tweet, Jaden. We may have to try to fit this in. We're live? All right, so they can hear me? It's on? All right, cool. All right. I don't even remember where we were at. Oh, we were talking about father. We were talking about, yeah, like talking with Aaron about it, asking her how it felt to be, both. She was a graduate of Florida State. Her son will probably be a graduate of Florida State. And it just, all right, I've made jokes about my teammate. He's probably made jokes about himself. Everybody, he got a lot of kids. My dog was fertile. But if you're a Christian, one of the first things that God told him is be fruitful and multiply. He just ran with that. He's just being biblical. Now, he didn't say how well, and in the Old Testament, polygamy was in most of the world. Monogamy is in the grand scheme of things, monogamy is a relatively new concept. If every man was faithful, it'd be a lot of women that would be single. That's what women want you. Again, women don't understand the power. What I've learned is women don't understand the power of their words, and they just be saying shit sometimes. And people be, anyways. The Bible's wild. The oldest profession is prostitution, and people want to get mad. And it's in the Bible, and people want to get mad when people go get prostitutes. When they're just working. And I just saw, who was it? Gilbert Arenas. And somebody was talking about side chicks keep on relationships together, whether y'all want to believe it or not. But if it works, whatever. But that's not me saying I'm not pro or con. Whatever. I think the biggest thing in relationships, you have to find what works for you. And at the end of the day, when you have a kid, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. It's not your only priority. But it is the biggest priority because until that person becomes an adult, because that person did not ask to be here. And it's a temporary thing. That's why it can't be your only priority, because they will grow and they will leave you. But to have a kid following your footsteps that looks just like you, I've never seen a kid look more like their mom and dad than AJ. Especially now that AJ hit his growth spurt. Like AJ got them long orangutan ass arms. And he moves. He has braids like Crow. He has the dreads like Crow now, and it looks good. So here's what I know. I know they've had their issues. They had to have had their issues. We were all young, but once you really mature and you've moved on and you're living your best life. That's the problem, is a lot of people don't have the closure that they like to go on social media and pretend they have. When you leave that boy mama, men, I'm going to tell you something, and you're not ready to hear this. But this is coming from love. Big games, free game by big game. She going to fuck somebody else. And with that, another male may influence your child. Now, women, y'all like to say men don't know how to handle that, but we have seen y'all don't like to handle that shit very well either. Conversely, if you leave him, he's going to have sex with somebody else, leaving the opportunity for another woman to have influence over your child. You have to do what's best for you. They have to do what's best for them. In that, you have a child that you have to do what's best for as well. And what I do know from what I have seen, observed, and I don't know 100% of the things, is that Doc and Crow have done a great job with AJ. And I know they've gone through some considerable bullshit, because there's no way you could go through it without going through considerable bullshit. But I've never not seen Crow be around AJ. I've been blessed to never witness Doc use AJ as bait or leverage, or you can't see your son. You can't do this. And I've never seen, and a lot of times it's evident in how the kid responds to the dad. Because Crow is a hard motherfucker. But goddamn it, AJ responds he responds with the admiration that one should have of his father being that guy. Whether it be on social media, whether it be in real life when I've seen them, you talk about him with his dad, he beams. And that's also, what that also means is that mother did not poison that kid's mind with thinking that his daddy ain't shit. One of the best things Carmen Coleman ever did to me was she never talked about James Sr. Never talked about him. I tell my dad all the time. Now, he did not, my mom did never say anything bad about you. The one important thing my mom said when I was 14 years old is that I ain't got to say nothing bad about your daddy. Your daddy gonna show you who your daddy is. And if she wasn't right. I learned my daddy ain't shit from him. Now, again, as a man, I've grown to forgive, forget, and understand some things because I got to go through it. But AJ's done a great thing. If I'm ever in this position, I wanted to cry for them. But I will not, if Trey goes to Florida State, if Trey signs to Florida State, if Trey signs, but definitely if he signs to Florida State, I will not be at that signing day ceremony. And I'll tell you why I won't be at that signing day ceremony. Y'all are not about to get me on no goddamn Kleenex commercial. I am not about to be around here crying. What's the she be looking ugly sometimes, but she looks pretty too at the same time. I don't know how she does it. How to Get Away with Murder Lady. Viola Davis. You ain't finna Viola Davis slave cry me out, this motherfucker. Because that's how I'm gonna look. I already know it. I ain't gonna be able to hold it in. Who doesn't want that shit? You know what? Maybe hold on, my bad. Maybe let me rephrase that because some of y'all, not y'all, but some people who maybe listen to this ain't never did shit in life. But who doesn't want to live a life and create a path that their sons can go down and do better than them? Because that's what Crow is preparing AJ to try to be. Now, it might not happen. Huge shoes to fill. But I tell my sons they'll be better than me because I didn't have me to show me how to do this. Did y'all see the Shannon Sharp and Sterling Sharp thing with the Hall of Fame? Where Shannon said one of the coldest things to Sterling. He said it was harder. Like, I was able to be better or be good because you showed me the path. And that's kind of how that's what we're about to watch right here. Damn, we need to take that. But that's a brother to brother. But I just, again, imagine your dad being one of the best corners, dog. Play that shit. That shit is amazing. I'm so proud of my dog, Crow. I might call this motherfucker up right now and say, teach my son how to play corner. Come be a dad. Because I can't teach him how to play corner. We ain't finna watch this whole 8 minutes, 16 seconds. But probably speed it up. Go. I'll watch the full thing. Oh, yeah, we can just do playback speed 2 times.
My eyes will come up, they come up to my waist, right? So now as I foot move, boom, right? I can sit there and punch. I can go with whatever I want to do. I can sit there and punch. A lot of people don't like the same hand, same foot, but this ain't nothing but a jab. So you can sit there and move. I can punch. Boom, you counter. Come back. I can still come back.
Is it dusty in there or is it raining outside?
They understand this. The young guys, they do this, right? That's how they do that.
Gotcha.
So if I'm doing this, I don't know about dancing. I'm just gonna sit there and watch that back foot. As soon as it move, boom, I'm at where I want to be. Right?
Yeah. It's 8 minutes, 16 seconds.
Everything's like it's here. It's never, I gotta do this, because when I do this, it puts me out of position and I lunge, right? So I don't want to lunge. Things I want to do, I want to keep my ball.
For those who don't know what's going on, he's showing him how to play press and how to mirror the receiver, how to match feet is what we call
Read
it.
it, punch, read it, step and punch, right? There you go, not two hands.
And he's trying to tell you do it with the offhand. You don't do it with both hands. And he keeps correcting.
Punch with your inside hand. You can punch with your inside hand, just don't leave it up there. There you go. It's a jab. It's a jab. You're working on boxing right now. All right, read the foot, read the foot. Where you at? Yeah. Right? That's why I say this is the spot where I want you right here. There you go. There you go. Now you see your eyes come. Yeah, they went right there. They went right here. I'm not looking down. I'm looking down, but my eyes when he moves, I'm gonna be right where I want to be, and I'm not too high. And it keeps my body level down. Right? And now you can use that. But now I tell you,
this is how you know Crow
I
crazy.
don't like this.
It's raining
I like this. You're not strong.
on a turf.
Get your
He
hands
in
here.
his
So at
socks.
the same time, as
Now
I'm
his
punching,
feet
that
wet.
chest plate, I can grab. Right? If I got my hands on the inside and I can punch and grab and punch and grab. What can I do? I can control the route where you want to go. Right? I can control everything once I get that, but that's not gonna get that if I'm here. The first thing I do, I'm gonna grab. This right here gives you more power here, and I'm stronger here. It can't move.
Yeah, we can stop, man. It's just teaching them game. It's teaching them game. Who better to teach you than somebody who's who's that? I mean, I could show. We could show. You know who didn't do that? But that's not his favorite son. Maybe AJ is his favorite son. We know Dion ain't teach Shiloh that shit. Shiloh can't cover himself with a blanket. He can hit somebody, but he can't cover himself with a fucking blanket. But like that's it's just dope to see that, man. And I'm glad he's going to Florida State. I hope it works out for him. I would love to be in that position to give free game. Right now, I'm in the position to when I try to give my son game, I get a lot of eye rolls and I'm like, all right, man, then let everybody else listen to that shit that's gone to college and your ass sit there and not do nothing with your life. I was like, I ain't got time for that shit. I know what I'm talking about. But maybe in a couple of years, it's just like, you know what? Everybody comes to the old man to get game, and you got it right there. You can just roll over and say, Dad, how do I do this? Because it's not just me that got himself to it. Dad, how did you get so many people to college and so many people to the NFL? How do I do that? Why do you go places and everybody recognizes you? Well, son, it starts by shutting the fuck up and listening. But he'll get there. It's all good. My son's, I joke. Every parent probably has that to a certain extent. I just be like, all right, I try to give you some game and go do something else. I ain't your coach. I'm your dad. But if you want me to coach you, you got to come tell me and I'll do whatever. Dion didn't teach Dion. Dion only has one son, well, two sons. He did teach one of his sons that. He taught Travis Hunter some shit. Dion hates everybody in this family except for Shadur because that's the cash cow. Love that shit, Crow. Keep that shit up, Crow. All right.
A lot of people can respect their dad for doing things like Crow, but other times you just want to shake your head at your dad. And it was definitely a moment for Deion Sanders where his kids wanted to shake their head. So I'm going to share this with you all so you all can get a good laugh in for this video.
What's your favorite color?
Well, lately I've been into dark chocolate. So that's been like my thing, you know.
The dark chocolate, huh?
You know,
You're in the dark chocolate.
It's been the flavor of my
Good dog.
season. Let me tell you.
I understand. I understand.
More to come.
Yes,
I thought you were going
Lord.
to say red,
No,
but
I like that dark
I mean,
chocolate.
red is like
She
my
said
favorite, but
dark
I mean,
chocolate. She
everything.
did.
Yeah, she said dark
I
chocolate.
like dark chocolate.
Yeah,
Even in my search, you'll
Hold
see
on.
dark chocolate.
that is,
let
I
me
feel
see.
like.
That is chocolate.
I love it. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, I love it.
It's sexual harassment when you don't like it. How is this any less weird than what Shaq did to Angel Reese? It's worse. You think that was weirder than this? You don't think Dion's old as my mom?
It's worse than
Dion
Angel
is
was
60 or close to it. Like, yeah, he got it because my
But
mom's
Angel's like 23.
My mom is 65, I believe. Well, how old am I? I'm 40. I'm 40.
She's like in her 30s. She's the Bella twins.
My mom's 64. She'll be 65
They
this year.
used to wrestle, so
They wrestled?
yeah. When I was a kid, they was in WWE.
Oh, okay.
All I'm saying is I don't like they grown, but Dion ain't a spring. Dion is older than Shaq.
41.
Yeah.
She's 41.
Oh, okay.
She good and grown. That's in the game.
Okay.
But
so
she knew what
was-
she was doing. The only thing I appreciate with her and why she's not gonna go out there and say, "Oh, that was weird," and people because she knew what the fuck she was doing when she said that. Who says dark chocolate as a woman that knows makeup? There's an actual color for that. And it ain't dark chocolate. There's an actual name for it. It ain't dark chocolate. I don't know it, but I definitely know this. I know one of y'all women in this chat know what the actual name for dark chocolate, because you probably get the damn lip gloss for it, a lipstick or whatever. It ain't mocha, because mocha's not dark like that. It's something else.
I guess
Cocoa. If that was her favorite color.
I guess the real weird thing, I guess, is his reaction. You see that at the age, yeah, he just kind of he just gets goofy.
Now, what he is again. So, but what's funny about prom? Again, it's not taking multiple things can be true at the same time. Do y'all remember what prom was on about a year ago? Yeah, a little over a year ago. He was on was it the Pivot, or was it were they still all I Am Athlete? One of those two, where he was giving game about how to stay in a relationship and what to do to make your woman happy. Guy left, didn't get divorced because they were never married, was shacking up, which that's a no-no in the Christian church. You know you're not supposed to do that. But shacking up with Babyface's baby mama. Well, Babyface's ex-wife. Fine, that's fine. And now he's single, ready to mingle. And now he's doing this.
How is he so confident? He's always so confident. But
it's
around two white women, and he's
like when he had the black chick. I think they're Spanish.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the chick now who he should be acting like that with, but I appreciate his professional decorum. His co-host on the show is it.
Center. I saw her going through security. I didn't realize she was that short.
They're all short. It's either they're extremely short or they're extremely tall. Because I learned them, there's no in between. Mariah, I did not know. I knew she was tall, but I didn't know she was that tall, dog. I felt like a midget compared. Maria. I wanted to say me and Mariah go back like babies to pacifier, but like she's tall as hell, and I'm sitting here like I almost want to. Like she could not too big for her to do that, but she could have like picked me up and did a little swing thing. Like I don't want to get on my I don't mind climbing trees, but like it would feel weird to get on my tippy toes. Like it has somebody like the man is supposed to be like she would literally the only way she could hug me is across up the top. Like I have to, but then Kevin Hart gets away with this, so who knows? But on this, no. But you know who's focused though? Who's Zoom focused? Zoom focused. Do you have what his son acting like he been there before, like his daddy should be? We're gonna get because again maybe Shadur is doing the do as I say, not as I do stuff that Dion preaches clearly, but
Before we touch on Shadur's efficiency off the field, we got to talk about his efficiency on the field. So Shadur Sanders holds the all-time record for career completion percentage in college football from a given season. So if you can see right here in our photo, from 2023 to 2024, he had the highest completion percentage in college with 71.8%. So definitely an efficient guy. But like James was saying, we're going to get into what's really efficient, the stuff off the field. So now we're going to play a video, get you a good laugh in about what his father should have done in this exact same situation. So we're going to pull it up, get a good laugh in. This is what I was showing you earlier, Miles, this video. And then you're going to see a familiar face in this, guys, but it's hilarious. So stay tuned.
Do it again. Please.
Again, it's if women love this. So can we go back? I just want you to pause at the thirst right there. Women love to say, "Oh my, it's the pretty women." Sexy llamas at that would love to go out here and say shit like, You couldn't laugh. Men are so thirsty. The comments that they leave, knowing good and goddamn well, we've all heard about women group chats. We see y'all in comments talking about men. You literally are the same people, except for the one of us actually admits that we probably ain't shit at certain times. This is risky. I'm ready to risk it all. Like, and you in 4K. Imagine if we truly treated everybody equal. Right now, if the roles were reversed and Shadur was looking at Angel like that, it would be like, oh my God, look at what he's doing to her in the eyes. We should be roasting her ass. Instead, we're praising a young king for having dick discipline and walking by and treating her like she doesn't exist. And you know what? I'm not going to say it's 100% accurate, but I can tell you from probably a 65 to 70% chance that she's in them DMs. I know you saw me at that celebrity football game. Because you want to know what really works? Good guys don't win. Ignore them. And then tell them what they want to hear is a great song. Have you ever heard that song? You just tell them what they want to hear. The guy's like, tell them what they want to hear. But Dion, but then again, you know what? My bad. I may have been too critical on Dion. Here's why. Dion ain't got many more orbits around this earth left. He got way less than what Shadur has. Shadur has all the time in the world to go get baddies. Dion's 50, man. He's the old man in the club. So maybe he has to like be a little bit more engaging. It's why the sugar daddies win. Sugar daddies ain't got time for all that shit. They don't want to hear about your problems. You got a problem. You got a problem with bills? I can solve that. Just is it gonna get me the draws quicker? So he has to be more direct and to the point, and he knows what he likes. Shadur is still at that. Oh, okay. Yeah, what's up? It's all in all, I kind of get it, but kudos to him staying focused on the bag. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what point I made either, guys. I'm sorry. Like, bottom line is the world will be a better place when women start just admitting that y'all want to fuck just like everybody across the board. We want to, and I promise you, when you shoot your shot, ladies, it completely obliterates all the fucking confusion. It's not saying you need to be the person pursuing, but allow the person to let them know you want to be pursued, and then you don't have to worry about any of this other shit. Yeah. Because I'm going to tell you what I'm not doing. I am not risking it all. I got way too much to fucking lose. 50% of $1 is 50 cents. That's a lot. 50 cents is a lot broker. Like everybody like, you ain't got nothing to lose. Bitch, if I only got $1 to my name, what can I buy with 50 cents? 100 million is 50 million. You still got $50 million in the bank. You can do a lot of shit with $50 million. You can't do shit with 50 cents. You can't even get a cola anymore. It used to be you can go to Winn-Dixie, one of these stores. Oh, man, I'm thirsty. Okay. Oh, they got the soda machine outside. I can just click, boom, get you a red check soda on a hot day. Can't even do that no more. I think it's $1.25. But man, just the hand on the chest. Okay, maybe I'm confused. Culture, ladies, what does that mean? I've seen it happen before when I was in my younger days. Doesn't happen much now. But when you put your hand on your chest like that, is she saying, "Ooh, I got this scripture I'm going to drop on him"? Is it like, I mean, what do you? The way his no, because that would still be complimentary. I need to go. I just remembered. I got to go to basketball practice. Is she thinking? Did I leave the stove? Did I leave the stove on before I left the house? I'm just saying, guys, ladies, just help us. Help us help you. Help us help you. And admit this. You got housewares in your DMs. We know you got housewares in your DMs. Guys, I'm gonna tell you this to save your feelings. If you're getting with a girl, give her 90 to 120 days to get her shit together. Let her go in there and get all of the dude before y'all start really talking. Just give her time to get rid of all the dudes that shooting their shot. Because there's a dude in there that she forgot about too. Just help him out. Give him some grace. Give grace. That's what you want to give grace. Angel Reese out here ready to here drooling out the mouth, be a juicy mouthed. Everything wet. Right there in that moment. Shout out to Shador. Good for you. You might not be a good NFL quarterback, but you take advantage of these next 5 years, son. Hit everything walking. Just make sure you don't go out like magic. But all right.
I don't even know how to segue from that last one, but anyways, we got our money move segment. Ryan Day signed a new contract with Ohio State, making the second highest paid college football coach in America. So just to read the details of this, it's a 7-year contract that will keep Day as coach of the Buckeyes through the 2031 football season. It will add 3 years onto his current agreement and will be valued at $12.5 million in total annual compensation. Now, like I previously mentioned, he is now the second highest paid coach in college football, and these are the top 10 highest paid college football coaches. Number 1, got the Dogs representing Kirby Smart. Number 2, Ryan Day. Number 3, Clemson Tigers, Dabo Sweeney. Number 4, Texas's own Steve Sarkisian. Number 5, Lincoln Riley. 6, Mike Norvell. 7, Kalen DeBoer. 8, Brian Kelly. 9, Mark Stoops. 10, Lane Kiffin. What do you think about this list, James?
1, 2, 3. But no. I got it. That Sark's been to the playoffs twice, so Lincoln Riley don't deserve to be in that list. I fucks with Mike, but Mike hasn't done anything to earn to be paid that much. Mark Stoops has done absolutely nothing to earn that much money, and neither has Lane Kiffin. So 4 of those guys don't deserve it. DeBoer deserves it because he's been to the college football playoff twice, I believe, as well. But yeah, man, kudos to them. But I'll say this. Coaches are getting paid this much money and everybody has a problem with NIL. I'm paying you $13.2 million to fucking have problems. You understand that? Just like you're paying a player to perform, I'm paying you to coach. Take them problems and shut the fuck up. Or get fired. Whatever. Shit. A solid 10. Like 10 really good ones, too. To be honest with you, you should do, I tell you what, I would go in and say, pay me $15 million and I'm going to win 15 a year for 5. I win 2 natties during that time. Guaranteed. Give me you don't even got to give me a solid NIL. Give me a decent NIL company. You know why? I'm a personally guaranteed the top recruit is going to get paid. I'm good with making $10 million. I'm going to take $5 million and make sure I get who the fuck I want to get. If that kid is that good, man, goddamn. Just, all these people, it's not illegal. It's kind of cheating, but it's not. It's within the rules. It is. And I hate when people try to be like, we do it the right. Bullshit. Everybody cheats. Somebody cheating. If you don't know that they cheating, somebody cheating for you, dog. You think that kid, how his mama got a house, got acres, lived in the fucking projects their whole life, went from red cars from JEA to 2 acres in a 5,000 square foot house? It don't work like that, dog. If the mama cross-eyed and ugly, we gonna send some real talk. I have a friend who's got a gym now. Good guy. I'm gonna train my son. And I'm gonna tell you, the coach who used Jimbo Fisher tried to use him as a recruiting pawn. The mama said she liked chocolate and she liked a certain guy when they went on a visit. He was ready to get a private jet to fly this man over there for the whole purpose of smacking cheeks. If you ain't willing to do that, you ain't willing to coach. This ain't for you. To tell you what, another coach told his wife when they was making $350K, which is good money. And when you go on trips, you'll be gone. You'll be on the road for a long time. And a lot of y'all, again, women love to hit people with that I'm tired shit. And I'm cool. I'm not here to tell you, you are not a robot. You should not have to do things on the drop of a dime. But if you like $350K and that man travel a lot, you better do what you need to do to get $350K about him. Or shut the fuck up. If you ain't touched that man in 2 weeks and he been on the road, like he might have only been home for like 3 days of them 2 weeks. But you better be getting 3 days of action there. And because, his mama's out there that like drinking. That they don't even need money. They just like to drink at the bar because you get an expensive. They get expense cards to be able to take and do whatever they want to do. So like, all right. So check. This is a real story. The names are I can't mention the names because I'm trying to protect them. So check. Coach comes in. He actually one of the mom. He recruited the mom. He recruited the kid. The kid was already at another school, but he comes to Jacksonville, right? And he's staying at a hotel. Make sure that mom knows, hey man, you know what? You have your in-home visit with other people, and this could happen for a mom that you're recruiting or a past one. Hey, man, if you want to have this continue the conversation, I'm staying at the Marriott. You can come over after 8. We can have some drinks. A few drinks lead to another. You in room 112 where the players dwell. And single moms, whether people, again, don't personalize my story by putting yourself into it, okay? So I want people to realize that. Single mom, all she cares to see somebody taking an interest in her kid is a fucking aphrodisiac. Mixed with Hennessy and promises that probably won't get kept. Leads to cheeks getting clapped. Yes. There's a coach that I do know that there was a player from out of Fort Myers area. That's how he got that kid to go to Ohio State. Kid made it to the NFL. I think it was a win-win. 5 minutes of passion led to her son signing to a Power 5, led to her son going to the NFL. Hey, a lot of y'all have had sex for $40. I'm telling you, that's the reason why I'm not a billionaire. I'm not rich because I would tell these stories in a good way. Because again, the truth is stranger than fiction. And again, they're like, well, James, why do you think the way you think? Because I've lived. I've seen y'all in action. I've seen the best, I've seen the worst, and I try not to judge. Because at the end of the day, a lot of times people are making the best decisions that they can make with the information and the circumstances that they're in. But the key word is it's a decision. You ain't falling even though sometimes you do kind of fall into some pussy, it happens. But you ain't slip and land on a dick, I can tell you that much. But it happens. And some of the stories are funny. Some of these guys, oh man, boy, it's one I got to tell you off camera. Like Jaden knows it, and this is one of my friends, but I can't tell it because it's too close, it's too attached. But it's a wild story. And nobody would believe you except for there's proof. And one day, these stories got to be told in some kind of way. But anyways, all this 13.3 million, it's not the kids, dog. It's the adults. And the adults are fucking greedy. But capitalism is how our country was built, and I love it. So kudos to Ryan Day. Still can't beat Michigan, but you won a natty. So that leaves that myth that people think that beating Michigan is more important than the national championship to Ohio State.
So we finish up our college football segment. This post just came in per Ross Dellinger. So the Department of Education, as expected, has officially rescinded the NIL-related Title IX guidance that would have put dozens of schools' revenue share plans in violation. So James, I know you sent this to me in real time. So what are your thoughts about this? Excuse me, about the revoke. About this getting revoked and just how the NIL landscape will look in the future.
Not to be political, but elections have consequences. They're going to get rid of the Department of Education anyway. So which is going to get rid of fucking Title IX. And if ladies have looked at any of this stuff that's legislation, yes, your daughter will not have, ladies don't have to worry about playing with the unathletic boy that couldn't make the sports teams with the boy sport teams that come there. But now all your Title IX shit is getting rescinded. And this is, and to be honest with you, from a capitalism fiscal perspective, this needs to be true. Nobody gives a fuck about women's water polo. They do not deserve to get a piece of the pie. They're not bringing no money in. That is not why the majors should get this. And women's basketball should get less than men's basketball. And men's and women's basketball should get less than football at certain schools. But it will leave a thing for the haves and the have-nots. I promise you guys, y'all, the reason they don't teach history well, you haven't been paying attention to history, and a lot of this shit is terrifying to a history major. But I tell you this much, I stopped giving a damn because y'all stopped giving a fuck. And good. Good. I mean, my daughter wasn't unathletic, so she didn't play sports. So this doesn't affect her. But all that other shit, hey, man, it's about to get thrown in the trash. And what people don't realize is not just sports. It's what protects you from grape. Yeah, that's great. There's no way. Just the things that people are saying and that they're championing. I'm like, you're literally cutting off your nose to spite your face. Did you read it? It is a way. They have the power. They have the power, and the people are saying this is what they want to do, and this is how. And all of this is going to be a ploy to put people back into things. I encourage you guys to read to comprehend and not just read to argue. But go read the book $1 Million Slaves, and also go read history about how the gladiators were treated in Rome. What people don't realize is that gladiators were slaves, but they were paid more than the regular everyday civilians. They had endorsement deals. They got paid with women. They got paid with shelter. They got paid. Heck, slaves were, believe it or not, slaves were better kept than most poor whites. And then when they freed everybody with no revenue, we were actually worse for a time until we worked ourselves back up. Which is why unions started and a whole bunch of other shit started. When you really go back and you start reading a lot of this shit to comprehend and to understand and not to be terrified and offended and feel guilt. You're just reading it because the shit happened. This is modern day gladiators. So what they're going to do is they're going to put a price that's so high that you're willing to make concessions. And that's American as apple pie too. Everybody got a number, regardless of what you believe. That's why Puffy's in the trouble he's in right now is because he's getting sued for it. But people had the thing that most of these people are failing to admit is that they had a number, and that number was they was willing to get lubed up in baby oil. It's gonna be wild. It's an egalitarian society. It's always been that, but it's now about to be very publicly that because a lot of y'all are stupid enough to believe that billionaires actually have your best interest in mind. Like I can at least. It doesn't mean I can accept what shit happens. It doesn't mean I can necessarily change it, but I can at least be like, oh yeah, this is bad. This is not. This is like how. But then you have to realize how to make it better for yourself. A lot of y'all don't even want to admit that it's fucking happening. It's all good.
Transition to the NFL. A lot of talk with the draft coming up about number one picks, top picks in the draft. So Cam Newton had Travis Hunter on his show at Radio Row, if I'm not mistaken, about the ins and outs of being a number one pick. And Cam Newton's rhetoric elicited a response from a former Panther of his, Steve Smith Sr. And this is where the discourse occurred and where the divide happened. So I'm going to play this video for you all. We're going to get into some tweets, to some responses, and we're going to hear your guys' opinion. Make sure to type in the chat what y'all think about this.
Into a locker room of losers. How did you handle? When I was the first pick, I went into a locker room of losers. How did you handle the pressure of being the top pick? Let's put it in perspective. You're the top pick because what?
Where you play?
No. You're looking at it from a personal situation. I'm talking about from the professional situation. You're the top pick because that was the worst team in the NFL the year before. For me, I wanted to be the number one pick. You could potentially be the first pick, but bro, you have no way of impacting the game like a quarterback does. You can lock down the number one receiver. You can make impact plays on offense all you want, but it's still not like a quarterback. My issue is when I was the first pick, I went into a locker room of losers. Guys didn't know how to win. Guys didn't know how to prepare. It was a culture shock for me. The games don't mean a lot to a lot of people in the league like you would expect. It's just money. Not everybody has capabilities to be impact players. They're just players.
So former Carolina Panther Steve Smith Sr. decided to respond to this claim by Cam Newton, and Steve Smith Sr. said 53-man locker room -1 equals 52 losers. Wow. Breaking news. 289, and he also followed up with another tweet as well that we're gonna share with you all right here. So it says, quote, I watch and listen from afar as you at Cam Newton talk about at the Panthers. None of us are perfect. Yes, we were 2-14 before you blessed us with your presence. The way you have talked about the Panthers lately, I'm very disappointed. I wish you nothing but the very best. I'm done. So James, do you think, one, Cam Newton was spewing the wrong advice, had the wrong word choice, or two, do you think Steve Smith is just overreacting?
I think multiple things can be true at the same time. I think Cam Newton's approach and the way he discusses things is to elicit a response and a reaction. But what I would like to state is, did he lie? But they were 2-14. And Steve Smith talked about 2 years before that. And like, it's not, he didn't. So again, don't make it personal. Like he didn't say 52 he went into a losing locker room. That is what happened. And and here's what makes it ironic for me. If Greg Olsen would have said this, all right, man, maybe I was a little harsh. Has Stephen Smith heard himself talk? Mind you, do y'all remember this is the same Steve Smith that called a wide receiver trash and wasn't doing his job, and that wide receiver came to talk to him about it on set, and he went back and forth with him. Is that not the same? Is that not the Steve Smith? Did that not happen? Is it not the Steve Smith who makes it, he is amazing at his job, who makes it a habit of speaking brash and talking hard truths in a manner in which builds his persona and what he did and how he played on the football field? So what happened was Cam Newton did to you unintentionally and not deliberate. He did to you what you do to others, and you didn't like it. And you put yourself into that. You could have said, I don't know that to be true, and I disagree with you. Now, he says the way that the Panthers, that he's talked about the Panthers. How many pictures do you see? Like, there's a quarterback corner at the stadium, right? Jake Delhomme is in the quarterback corner. Cam Newton, who is the best, not arguably the best player in Carolina Panther history, is nowhere around the fucking Panther Stadium. In pictures and different things of that nature. Cam Newton, who all of those other players we just mentioned, hanging out in Germany when the Panthers played in Germany. You know who wasn't there noticeably and who talked about it on this podcast? Cam Newton. Cam Newton didn't go to Germany. Cam Newton says he wasn't invited. I'm sure there's more to the story than that. You are trying to have a loyalty to a team that don't have loyalty to you because hell, Steve, they got rid of your ass unceremoniously because of Cam. Because it was two very powerful voices that were on the same side of the fucking ball, and they needed somebody to be able to listen to the leadership of what they brought in. Cam Newton was also unceremoniously left, and they sucked. I don't. It's like Stephen A. Smith being offended or just like when Stephen A. Smith's offended when somebody says something brash about him. It's like when people who defend 4547 because somebody says something brash about them. I don't have no sympathy for them motherfuckers because them motherfuckers is brash and abrasive too.
But he was supposed to respond this way. That's why I can't say it in the manner he didn't. It wouldn't have sounded if he said it was a team full of losers except for.
No, what I'm saying is if Steve could have been like, I don't know what team he talking about, that wasn't me. But to say like you're tired of him talking about like this sounded catty. This is sassy. Y'all know each other. He didn't call you out, Steve. He didn't call you out personally, but you went to social media, and this is my problem with the OGs. The OGs come around here talking about the Ryan Williams painting their nails and all that's gay and all this other stuff, but the OGs out here acting like the sassy ones. This some daytime loving hip hop drama bullshit. You mad at it? Attack it. Attack it head on. Call him, and then if he says something different and he doesn't address it, then you go about it. But like, to come out here and just, I'm done. Have a good day. What you did was you called him. You're the chick that called somebody, told them to lose your number, and hung up on them. That's what you just did, bro. Like, we can talk about all the way these boys is dancing and pop locking and doing all this fruity booty shit, but y'all, the OGs around here, acting sassier than a motherfucker right now. Cam included at times. It's not to diminish. You know who wouldn't do this? Jerome Harrison. Or, excuse me, James Harrison. Please don't come at me, James. I'm sorry. Very intimidating man. Tough guys don't have to go around proving that they tough all the time. But again, it's just because Steve has always proven, but it kind of diminishes the Jerry Jeudy thing to me now. Because did you go at Jerry Jeudy like that because you knew y'all were on live TV? And you knew nothing was going to come of that? Just like you know nothing's going to come of this. I mean, back in the day, but he's older now. He's long in the tooth. Can't be tussling like we used to tussle. A tussle got to be saved for a real tussle. Like, I tell people that when I'm like, all right, are we at this point where we need to tussle? A tussle has to be planned at this point. I don't want no random ass tussles, dog. I need a good, all right, meet me. Like, we grew up in the era, meet me at the flagpole after school. We planned tussles during the day, back in the day. Organic tussles turned into brawls. That's why we had to make sure the civilians were safe. That being said, I'm just like, Steve, like, this is, what are we doing here? Y'all suck, dog. Steve, who told a kid, to Cam Newton, is documented. Hey, man, this is wide receiver right now, man. Like, should I play him? Because, you know, I'm trying to win my fantasy football league. Is he any good? And then he told the kid, he's like, man, I'm going to start you. And if you suck, I'm going to whoop your ass. Like, he told the guy this jokingly, but feeling like it was serious. And again, it's like,
To me, what Cam did doesn't feel too great either. It's like, did he come in the locker room saying, hey, you guys are a bunch of losers. This is a losing culture. I would change shit like
Probably.
But did he say that? Like you,
But-
it feels like he's talking behind his back just as much as Steve Smith.
He's talking to 52 guys, and so 52 guys could choose to be offended, but they could also say, "Hey, I need you." Or I would have taken this on social media, because if the criticism was public, so make the apology public. I get it. Hey man, could you explain this a little bit to me? But the problem is Steve Smith. If when Steve Smith talks about the Jags, do you think he's talking about, what if all 53 people of the Jags got mad and said, "Hey man, I don't suck"? Like, imagine if the consistency was had for every fucking thing that we talk about, for everybody to get offended in the manner in which it's just right, and the Steve Smith Sr. is doing right now, you would have no time to report. All you would be doing is defending your comments and statements. And if that's not you, we know that wasn't you. We know you're good. You are a finalist for the Hall of Fame. Brother, we know you good. We know Greg Olson was good. Luke Kuechly was a finalist for the Hall of Fame. But like, the context actually matters as well. Here's the reason I say the context matters. Who is he talking to? A kid who could potentially be the number 1 overall pick. He was giving them game of why you don't want to necessarily be the number 1 overall pick. The same reason. So right now, when I go on TV, I'm going to talk and say, "Hey, I don't think the Jags can do anything right." I don't know if I've said, man, I would love Travis Hunter to come play for the Jaguars, but I don't want him to go play for the Jaguars because they're not going to use him right. Now imagine if every fucking Jaguar player got mad at me, like the Jaguars have an average 5 wins over the last 10 years. If there was no truth, it's kind of when people say the nonchalant people, like it's this skit, like it's just like, this girl gets mad and she's like, your dick little. Yeah, but I still beat. You broke. Yeah, you knew I was broke when you met me. Like, why are you still here then? Like, it's like all of the things he said were true. There's no way to get around 2-14. 2-14 teams don't have iconic all-time greats on them. They may grow into that, but that team, that team ain't nobody made Hall of Fame. But if you want me to say both of these are catty as fuck, yes. But I would say at least the one was spitting game to a kid of why, because I think Travis wants to be the number 1 overall pick. But hey, and he told him that's a personal reason. But from an overall business perspective, you're going to a team that's trash. If the top, to be honest with you, you can say that for anybody in the top 5. Raiders got Max Crosby. Is Max Crosby trash? No. Is he a loser? I don't think so. Are the Raiders a losing franchise right now? Yes. The Titans, they have some good players on there. Is it a losing culture? Because again, if we don't believe what Cam, actually, I'm almost with you. I'm glad if everybody thinks that what Cam did was so bad, then that means we don't believe in the word culture. And I agree with you.
I think the word choice is a lot, like your word choice, but he knew what he was doing. It's all for this, right?
It's going to get clicks. It's going to go viral. It was very intelligently explained with enough spice and seasoning to cause a reaction to happen. And that's who Cam Newton is. Because again, what I would have done more than likely, man, that's Cam being Cam. Yeah. Just like if Steve says something really, really over the top and crazy, that's his brand. Like being offended by being offended by, I don't know if they're friends or not, but being offended by a friend who's doing what you know them to do as a friend is you choosing to now have some kind of morals. But it's his right to be offended. And just like,
Only good thing on that team for how long, so I could understand also pride too.
are you talking about Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, man, shit. Steve was good. But I would have been the first thing I'd be like, it's just like when somebody walks in, I whoop everybody in here ass. Who in here? You can be the person that says, whoop my ass right now then. Or you could be the person that like, man, I know that motherfucker ain't talking about me. And I would have just chalked it up as I know that motherfucker ain't talking about me. Unless I really want to fight. And right now, Steve just really wants to fight. He's mad that he didn't get the Hall of Fame nod. I get it. But dog, chill out, bro. I'm not gonna say who's right or wrong, and I think they both could have done something better. But Steve, nobody was talking to you. Cam was on the podcast. That's all I'm saying.
Moving along, some news out of the New York Jets franchise. Speaking of losing franchises, man, I did not believe this when it came across the timeline, but I was surely assured. So the Jets told Aaron Rodgers he couldn't appear on the Pat McAfee show anymore if he wanted to be with the Jets next season. Quote, I was told that when they had conversations with Aaron Rodgers about what the future would look like, if you're going to be a part of this team, you're going to attend all the training camp. You're not going to do Pat McAfee interviews anymore. They had a conversation with him of, quote, if you were to stay here, here is how we would want it to be. So this is me. So this to me is Aaron Glenn getting control back. What do you think of these demands by the Jets organizations, James?
We said everybody is saying this about Angel Reese right now. We say this to black athletes all the time. Where's your focus at? Shut up and ball. You're not a podcaster. You're a quarterback. And you're not playing quarterback very well right now. So be a quarterback. That's what you need to do. Focus. Basically, what they're telling them to do is focus. Stop going out here spreading out random ass conspiracy theories, and be a teammate. Do training camp. The most ironic thing in all of this, and he's following the same trajectory too. Aaron Rodgers is becoming the person that he hated. So Brett Favre, right? Brett Favre was the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers fell into the Green Bay Packers' lap. Like they knew Brett was on the tail end of his career. And what better way than drafting a quarterback, like I think like the 21st pick or some shit like that you can get him on a discount and develop him behind a guy, knowing that you'll be able to continue to have the success in what you had. Except for Brett had no intentions of fucking developing him. He was so fucking offended that they drafted him that he treated him like shit. They eventually moved on from Brett. And I believe Brett, I don't know which, I think Brett went to the Jets and then went to the Vikings. Brett goes to the Jets, right? He goes to the Jets and wins and does all these other different things. But part of his thing, there wasn't no podcasting. Well, he's showing his dick to people. But Brett said, I don't want to do training camp. Fast forward. The Jets know Aaron Rodgers is in the twilight of his career. So they draft a quarterback who Aaron has zero intentions of helping develop, much like it was done for him. Then he goes to New York. And one of his stipulations in his contract is, I don't want to do training camp. All he has to do is go to the Vikings. It is motherfucker. But he might, I don't think he'll go there. But imagine he can't go to the Bears. Vikings have their quarterback. Lions have theirs too. So it's just like, if he went to a division rival, that would be hilarious. But the point in all of this is that Aaron's just not a likable person. Nobody likes Aaron. His family doesn't like him. The only person who likes him is Pat McAfee. And that's because Pat can basically get shit out of him. Like, he knows his ratings are going to go up because Aaron's going to say some whacked out kooky bullshit. That just lets you know how much Pat making. Yeah, that's true. Pat is a force. I like Pat's show, by the way, but like the people that I like the shows that people hate because I like to watch why they hate them, and then it makes you realize why they're so popular. Oh yeah. Well, Bomani's just smart, and that's the reason why we hate Bomani. And his whole stick is "I'm smarter than you." His voice sounds like a smart person that's smarter than you, and he is. Pat is a frat boy. It's frat boy radio, and the purists hate that kind of shit. But the crazy part is brought ESPN. He's the moneymaker for ESPN, and you can't get rid of him, because if you get rid of him, you're going to lose the people that he brought, and all it's going to do is benefit him, because he's going to bring over everybody that, like, he's going to take people from you. It's where all the money's at. Pat is the reason. Pat is what everybody's trying to emulate right now. It's what Shannon Sharp's doing off field. It's the best way to go about it. Build your own brand that has monetization outside of whatever company, and people buy you, but you keep your own brand, and it brings people to them. Yep. Even Jim Rome had to get in a fight with somebody. Well, the person fought him or came at him. Yeah.
So we got some breaking news for the New Orleans Saints. They hosted the Super Bowl this season, and they are getting a new coaching hire. So the Saints are finalizing a deal with Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore to become the new head coach for the team. So shout out to the Saints, shout out to Kellen Moore for getting this opportunity, winning the Super Bowl, but even winning the Super Bowl and going to the team where they hosted the Super Bowl, becoming the head coach. I don't know if this has ever happened in NFL history, but yeah, this is a pretty interesting transition. So huge shout out to Kellen for getting this accomplishment. And we're going to move right along with some of the Super Bowl facts / highlights we wanted to highlight and share with you all. First things first, we had this stat, and I know it's crazy to kind of believe, but a lot of people in the comments were questioning the validity of this stat. But yes, it is true, ladies and gentlemen. So Devontae Smith, we know that he was a Heisman winner, national championship winner, and a Super Bowl winner, one of only 5 players to do that, I believe. And he is also in the Bama Hall of Fame with this stat as well. So Devontae Smith is the first player drafted out of Alabama to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Now, James, did you even know this? Do you believe this fact to be true? Like, does it seem surreal to you? Like somebody else did it, et cetera, et cetera? Because a lot of people are saying Jalen Hurts, but Jalen Hurts was not drafted out of Alabama.
It's
He was
Oklahoma.
drafted out of
You got
Oklahoma.
rid of him. You got rid of him. You don't get to claim him anymore. Nah, did not know that. You would think as many Bama players have been drafted that they would be better than that. Cool. Shout out to my nigga Devontae.
So we got some more key facts for you all. Of course, the Super Bowl halftime show spurred a lot of controversy, on the net. But here are some numbers associated with the show right here. So Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show is officially the most watched performance ever with 133.5 million viewers. It surpasses Michael Jackson's halftime show. Man, crazy numbers. Crazy numbers.
Sure. I think that, and I just don't believe anything with streams anymore. Now that I know that they can like manufacture stuff, I'm not gonna take anything away from them because I don't want to sound like a hater, but like it wasn't better than Michael Jackson's halftime show, I can tell you that much. But the NFL has never been more popular than it is now, which is ironic because black people are boycotting because of Kaepernick, and white people are boycotting because of Kaepernick and the woke DAI stances. But yet everybody keeps watching this shit, which I'm okay with because I'm not boycotting this shit because I like it.
So since this Super Bowl is over, obviously the odds for next year's Super Bowl has coming out. So James just wanted to share with you the odds per ESPN bet. See who you would take which odds look favorable right now at this point in time. So the Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs are tied with the lowest odds to, or excuse me, the highest odds to win the Super Bowl next year. And if you put in a bet on ESPN Bet for the futures, it's plus 650, meaning if you bet $100, get 650 in profit. And then you got the Bills next with plus 700, the Lions plus 700, Eagles number 5 plus 700. Then you got the Niners, Bengals, Packers, Commanders, and Chargers. So based off these odds, James, based off the information, would you pick for next season to win the 2026 Super Bowl?
I mean, it depends on if Josh Sweat comes back, but all things being equal, it looks like the Eagles, they don't lose a lot, man. And they keep drafting complimentary players, man. Like when you look at that Eagles team, what do they need, right? They've got 2 wide receivers. They've got the running back. They're solid. They're really good on the offensive line. They have their quarterback. So offense is pretty much set. If they find another, but then in defense, you've got your, like, obviously Josh Sweat is the guy you got to bring back. You find another corner or a safety or a linebacker, and those will be available for them in the draft. Because they won without their best linebacker. He's been hurt. Wild times. I don't understand how they aren't ranked higher. Obviously, it's hard to repeat, but KC did. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's not. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's not a Philly Baltimore championship next year. A game that could be played, an hour train ride between the 2 cities that would be played, and a 5-hour flight away from those cities, because it's in San Francisco next year.
Yeah, I wanted to share this with you all. I do think the Eagles have a great chance to repeat Super Bowl champions. Speaking of the Eagles, though, there was an Eagles player that shook up the internet with his posts, CJ, and we're gonna get into the post and his reaction video as well. So he took to Twitter or Instagram, excuse me, with a lot of people. That's their fault whenever they do that online. And so CJ Gardner Johnson posted this on his Instagram story, directing this post to Travis Kelce, saying, quote, "Should have stayed with that dick." Yeah. And he posted, and he had this and the internet quickly had this picture of Travis Kelce's ex-girlfriend, Kayla Nicole, in mind, and he was shouting him out. And so after this was circulating, he took online to explain why he said this, why he made this post, and I'll let you guys be the judge of this reaction.
Okay, let's get it out of the way. I got mad respect for Travis Kelce. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Please don't get me wrong. I got mad respect for him. Like, great, one of the best tight ends ever played the game. And no disrespect. But when it comes to them black queens, boy, you don't play with them. My boy, you don't play with them. You just don't play with them. Like, that's
Talk
all
your
I gotta,
shit, man.
That's all you gotta say when it comes to black queens all across the. Okay, let's get it out of the way. I got mad. Fake ass Umar Johnson. Man, this motherfucker shot 3 shots at black queens, paying for pussy. And don't you? And if y'all clip this, don't you make me expose you, because you know who, that you know what, well, you know who. So let's just keep that between me and you. Over here shooting that with the little build a body hoe, not hoe, excuse me. She was working her ass off. Was it Glenerica? Like, yeah, like, have you seen her interview with him when he over there gushing and shit? She posted it on her page, but yeah, we saw that was the one who was. I think had checked in, but she was struggling to get checked into the hotel. She was doing like, She might be doing business.
We was in the hotel because we was staying in the Chiefs hotel, and we were just chilling. I was chilling in the lobby, and then I looked one way, and then I saw her. She was in a whole like matching sweat set of like
the brown.
Juicy, like the
Mhm.
brand Juicy. So she had the juicy jacket and the juicy leggings, I guess. And I was like, oh, it looked like she gonna go to work. That's all I got to say on that one.
Mhm. But here's my thing. I'm tired of this shit. And I'm gonna say this is not on some Umar shit. Love who you love. I really don't care about that. Black women are the biggest, some of the most hypocrites that I've ever seen. One, if you start acting sassy, what's the first to them? What's the first thing they do? They all have gay friends, and the first thing they do is they call you gay anytime that you don't want to do something. But then call you like hetero, like was that not what is homophobic? When they're some of the biggest homophobes out there. Then they tell you about, oh, we got to protect black women. You forget this black woman was with a big ass white dude that was appropriating culture. It didn't let her tell it. She left. He fumbled to fucking Taylor Swift. I take Taylor Swift ironing board built body right now. She's a fucking billionaire. And her only identity right now is Travis Kelce's ex-girlfriend. She's over there scooping up the confetti and blowing it out and blah, blah, blah. What does she do? Like, what else is she? She's fine. And this is how I know people understand when men are saying, what do you bring to the table? What does she do? What does she do to enhance me? Besides being a thick black, did you know how many? We just talked about a thick black chick that's younger. They got tons of thick black chicks right here. Like it was all over. The only thing about New Orleans and Atlanta, you got to watch. Got to ask questions. And no, what Chauncey did, and this is the problem I have. What Chauncey did was what Chauncey does. He saw an opportunity to take a troll, and he trolled him. And that's cool. You don't got to say, I was doing it for the black queens. Man, you wasn't. You were like, you're a whore like most athletes are at that age, man. And that's okay, too. It's dirty macking. It's simping.
Yeah.
And simping ain't pimping. You know how to like, I had to protect my black queen. Brother, she wasn't protecting you over 2 years ago, and if this man didn't drop her for Taylor Swift, she would not be giving a goddamn about you. Women can be lesbians and be eating chocha and then go be with a man the next day and say that was just a phase in her life. Black women can go be with a white man and then it doesn't belittle you. Then you can go be with as many black dudes. Now you want to come back to the culture when when you feel like you got neglected and replaced and they treated you so bad. But when you was over there, it was all smiles and Hallmark cards. Now, personally, I'm saying this because I hate when people do that shit. Like, man, you was over there. And it was better over there. Black men wasn't shit when you was over there. This is why I got to go get me a non-melanated king to take care of me, pay my bills. Then we find out that you going 50-50 on everything with a multimillionaire but want me. Black women have rules for people that they don't like. But for someone they like, they ain't got no rules. Hey, rich men don't pay for nothing but convenience. Like they'll go to Checkers if you're bad enough. But what I'm saying, and again, she is fine, but that's literally the only retort that people have. It is so, you guys are so caught up in looks, and it's the women that are caught up in looks, that you are fixing your penis suckers to say, how dare he fumble her for this body of a billionaire? Even Beyonce, the queen, said there is no such thing as an ugly billionaire. All I'm saying is, what else is there other than Travis Kelce's XX? We don't even, what is her name? Nobody's even saying her name. They're just saying Travis, but even when they say it, you forget it because it's, what's he say, Kayla Nicole? Kayla Nicole, not CEO of Kayla Nicole Enterprises. Kayla Nicole, not Mr. Nicole's daughter. Kayla Nicole, graduate of Harvard University. I don't know where she graduated from, by the way. They're not saying Kayla Nicole, mother of kings. They're not saying Kayla Nicole, beautiful goddess. Kayla Nicole, great model. Kayla Nicole, not even Kayla Nicole, Instagram influencer. Kayla Nicole, they're not saying none of that shit. They're saying Kayla Nicole, Travis Kelce's ex. That is what you identify as. If the biggest accomplishment I have is somebody else's ex and they are not a billionaire, I don't want to be that person's ex. She fine right there in that picture, though. But the crazy part is that, like, again, we can say Taylor Swift, right? We don't even have to say Taylor Swift. What does Taylor Swift bring? We know what the Swifties are. And then we go and look at Travis Kelce's Instagram following, his Twitter following, and all that stuff, how it's increased. She's bringing that man money. He wants to go into something else. Where they know they put him in a movie. And they know the movie going to do numbers. Why? Because the Swifties are going to watch it. This man got with a woman that is literally, again, to quote our queen Beyonce, right? Let me upgrade you. Kayla Nicole, what does she do to upgrade Travis Kelce?
She look good.
Besides look good on his arm. And you know what? To somebody, Taylor Swift looks good to white men like that.
And it's so false because you're trying to go off idealism while objectifying the black woman. You're only saying she looks good.
That's the crazy part of it is, what if she's really good at something else and we don't know? We just know she was really good at one point.
Conversationalist,
of being Travis Kelce. But it goes back to what my uncles and a lot of old men would tell you. For every fine woman out there, there is a dude that is tired of her shit. Thank you, LaRon Taylor, but the Kelce's podcast would not be as popping if it wasn't for Taylor. It's biblical. The proverb, which Proverbs is it? Proverbs 31, I think, right? Proverbs 31, woman. A lot of black women like to use this one. I would say 32 or 31, whatever the last book in Proverbs is. That's where literally, women will use the Bible for everything else except for this right here. Because if a woman, it is the perfect woman, it is literally what it's supposed to be what the mother is telling her son to look for in a mate. And it talks about, in one of the scriptures in there, it talks about how the woman enhances the man. But all we talk about when it comes to women, it's not what they do to enhance the product of the man. Or if it is, it's only about being eye candy. Which you don't, this is why you got to become an all-in member. Jaden, what was there an abundance of when you were walking around the streets of New Orleans? Just bump that. When every place we went to, what was there an abundance of? Women, thick shit, beautiful women, thick shit, all kinds of shit. Food, drugs, alcohol, women, beautiful. And you know what's always around food, drugs, and alcohol? Beautiful women and thick shit. You know who is trying to get food, drugs, beautiful women, and thick shit? Black, white, Hispanic, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. In fact, I'd argue that he was trying to do that more than he was trying to study the goddamn playbook. Luckily, he's a very good football player.
Even if she wasn't rich,
that's what I'm saying. It's not rich. I'm just asking, what does she, because nobody else says it. The only time we hear Kayla Nicole, Travis Kelce's ex. We don't know her for anything else. And to me, that's the sad part. You didn't even take the bag and make your own bag out of it. Except for every chance you get, shitting on your ex, which eventually makes you look like you crashing out, baby. Because here's the reality of the situation that most women don't want to admit. He can get better. She ain't getting another Travis Kelce. It ain't many like that. And that's again, my whole theme of my life. Before I die, they're gonna say, well, I ain't having no funeral because I ain't gonna get up there and lie in front of my mom and my kids about how great a man I was when y'all was talking shit about me. I'm gonna be here on a Tuesday and be gone on a Wednesday. And the people who need to know will know. And y'all just smoke a cigar for me, pour out a little liquor. Make sure it's good. There are three, let's just use African Americans. It's still less Americans. 3% of African Americans make over $100,000. 3%. And let's just say 50% of them are men. It's 1.5% of men, of black men, eligible black men, not even eligible, just black men in general, make 6 figures. Ain't a lot. Now she dipped over there dipped her toe into the other side of the pond, which makes your pool bigger. It's not a lot of them. It's not a lot of them that are making it to the NFL. It's not a lot of them that are going to be Hall of Famers. It's not a lot of them like you are right now. And the crazy part is, who is going to want to be with someone whose whole life is dedicated to shitting on their ex every time they get an opportunity? I don't want them headaches. I want you over him and healed. If my beautiful queen, Kayla Nicole, I want you healed, baby. In 2025, let's get some healing and let's go out here and show the world what we're really good at. I want to know, like, I want to support you. I want to do all those different things so that when you do get, because you're only going to have to go younger because ain't no old dude finna deal with it. I don't even know how old she is. You know what? That's a lie. She could do what all the other beautiful black queens are doing right now. Go fuck a 23-year-old coming in there and trap him. Get an 18-year-old. What's the one chick? Drea. Isn't Drea the one who? Not Drea. Yeah, that's right. Get you a Drea and go get somebody your son's age. Go trap somebody. Because again, when a man does that, he's a pedophile. But when a woman does it, it's fucking empowering. It's 12. Oh shit. I might need one of y'all to go open the door. All right, we got.
So like James was saying, we got this funny video of Patrick Mahomes Sr., somebody we saw pretty frequently in the Chiefs hotel lobby, and he was getting into a fight with the former MLB player in New Orleans. We did not see this, but thank God Twitter is publishing the video, getting a lot of eyes on it. So we're gonna play the video and let us know what you think in the chat, y'all.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
And then like John Rocker. All right, my bad. Y'all can hear me now. I was on the phone. I really, really don't like when people do this shit. Like this, I'm gonna break down the fight. Put the fight back up there, or the altercation or whatever. It's not a kerfuffle. Oh, let's read it. This fucking loser can't take a damn joke. Wish I laid him out right there and ruined his bullshit weekend even more. I'm gonna tell y'all, man, this is that shit that y'all be doing. I've been around enough white people to know y'all do this thing. It's an animal kingdom thing. Y'all be thinking I'm gonna puff my chest up and be big and it's gonna scare the other animals. Nah, dog. If you really wanted to fight, you would have fought. Now let's play this. I'm gonna show you. Maybe even we slow it down a little bit. Like, but just half speed. So you see him right here. Pat Mahomes doing this thing. John Rocker decides to come out and talk his shit. And you see the stance when the old black man is backing up. He's retreating, but he's got a good, like right now, if he wants to catch him with a left, he can catch him with a left. He tells him, don't touch me. He's offended because he can't touch him, and he's saying what he needs to say back. Right now, pause it. If John was really upset, what would John do right now? He'd strike him if he really wanted to fucking fight. If he was really that upset. But he doesn't. And he continues to talk his shit like he's, whatever. Like what he really wanted to do was just get his shit off. Will I push play? And he's appalled that this motherfucker is saying this. Now he's doing this. Now this guy pulls him back. And the guy in the blue kind of just comes in. That's not stopping a Division I. That's not stopping a pro athlete. That's not stopping a pro athlete. Hold on, go back real quick. Does he walk toward or does he walk to the side? Because what I see is a guy shimmying side to side and not advancing forward. A real fighter would have advanced forward who really wanted that smoke. You didn't want that smoke. You're backing up. Nobody's holding you back. You are backing up yourself. That one arm ain't even really in there like that. If you wanted to fight, you would have fought. And I hate when people do that. You had a great opportunity to take your 10 fingers and make some things happen. But instead, you took your 2 thumbs and tap, 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 and tap, tap, tap. And that's what you did. And what I say to that is what my potential father said in a great movie called Boys in the Hood when a woman got out of pocket, because that's what you acting like. Shut up, bitch. You wasn't going to do nothing. And we all know you wasn't going to do nothing. And even right there, ain't nobody holding you back. You want some smoke? Go get the smoke. The smoke is all right there. They're holding back the one person that probably would have done some shit. And just because he's frail and old don't mean nothing. And he's a pitcher. Pitchers ain't fighting shit. Pitchers are protected by everybody else on the baseball field. That false bravado, that tough talk that you do is going to get your jaw jacked one day when you meet the right person. And to be honest with you, I pray it happens. That's right outside of where we were staying. That's that Popeyes right there on Canal Street. Or by now it's like right not far from Bourbon. It wasn't quite on Bourbon, but like you could have got that. But the thing is, you knew it. That's what irks me, and that's why I say some of the things that I say to people sometimes. Do you want to fight? Let me know, and it stops the argument, or it will get us fighting. It is literally a place to push you over which side of the fence that you think you want to get into. He didn't want to fight. He wanted to talk. He wanted to be a tough guy, and that's exactly what he was. And to be honest with you, I don't like that shit. I think that's some hoe shit, and I think it's terrible. They don't say you don't hear the words, but he probably said something out of pocket. Probably said something about his DUIs. Probably said something about his son not being very, very good. Probably said some other things that was just out of pocket. But again, people think that freedom of speech doesn't protect you from the freedom of getting your ass whooped. You are free to say and do whatever you want to do as long as you're willing to deal with the consequences. You want to fight, you go forward. You advance forward. When you've seen like a real big mammal's about to get into it, it is people having to drop set their weight because they are pushing forward. You may advance to the side, but it's a side and going forward. It is almost like you're trying to be a pass rush specialist. He wasn't trying to rush shit. He was going sideways and walking to the side when nobody even put their hands on him. And then they going back and forth, man, bro, like it ain't hard to find. It was a lot of people got down. Matter of fact, I think, JD, you wasn't at the cigar. No, y'all went to go get us the po' boys on Wednesday. It was 2 white ladies that fought in the cigar lounge. You know what happened? They bumped. The lady in the lounge kicked the one last piece of bread built body bitch out and then told her to go home, and everybody went about their way. It was some good pork. My pork boy was good. neither one wanted that smoke. And that's just the truth. And I hate, tough guys don't go around having to act like they tough. You use more energy in your thumbs talking about fighting than actually trying to go fight. Because again, but that's what you did in baseball. That's what you do when you talk your race, when you spew your racist rhetoric. All it is just talk behind thumbs, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you, the only racists that I respect right now, genuinely, but I respect their racism, is them motherfuckers in Cincinnati. But they fucked around and found out. They didn't take their racism to a place of safety. They took their racism to the streets. But they got met with proper resistance. But I can respect that. I don't respect people telling me what they should have done. Because when you had the opportunity, it wasn't like now 4 people was holding John Rocker back. That's not fair to John Rocker. He didn't have an opportunity to exercise fisticuffs. But an old man in a fucking go back to what it looked like. Make sure I describe this properly. That man didn't even have he didn't even have good clothing on. That man, yep, he had a t-shirt, a dress shirt on, a baggy dress shirt that didn't even put his full weight of his arms on you. And you over here looking steroid bound like you just did some push-ups. No leg workouts. Side to side swaying. Oh, and you went backwards on the side thing. Just walking around in a circle. Man, get the fuck out of here, dog. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here, man. All you punk ass, pussy ass, bitch ass people in the comments talking about John Rocker would knock Patrick Mahomes Sr. out. And that might be true, but you know what? We'll never know. Because John Rocker, puss ass, bitch ass, stupid ass, fuck ass, didn't go out there and do what was necessary in that moment. So fuck him. Should have been swallowed. And everything that he stands for. And again, like I said, I'm just grateful that I didn't have to go to Little Angola, because when you talk that much shit, you better fight him when you see him. I'll tell you that much. If you and Patrick Mahomes see you in the same place and you don't do shit, you a bitch. I tell you what, if I'd have seen Jason Whitlock, fat ass. I was sitting there thinking about it like, damn, man, I really put myself in the situation I can't back out of right now. I don't want people thinking the wrong things about me. That's fucked up. But anyways, man, I want to talk about this other shit too, but we gotta go. Got a meeting, went over 2 hours, man. Make sure y'all check out the content. Jaden and them are doing a really, really good job cutting it up, putting it up there. Still got plenty of it. Go check out the Pylon 707 interview, the interview with me and a guy who is an actual badass, Lorenzo Neal, who I believe would fuck you up if he needed to. Make sure you check that out. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel as we continue to try to grow. Got more content coming up here. Appreciate you opening it up with me. We'll see you next time.